Alright, so it's been a while since I've done a build-along type video, and because I can make this one half shorter with instructions, that's what I'm going to do. We're making PVC bows in this video. Alright, so polypropylene twine, some wood glue, a board that is 6 feet by 4 inches by 1 inch, and in reality it's actually 3.5 inches by 3/4. Some gloves, oven mitts, or rags, a heat gun, PVC pipe. I'm using 3/4 of an inch, and clamps would be useful. And the first step is to cut down this board from 6 feet to 4 feet long. I also sanded it just so that I wouldn't get splinters or something. And I cut out these 2 blocks from some of the scrap wood, and these are 3/4 inch cubes. And the first thing I'm going to do is glue these onto the corner of this piece of wood, and this will be our kind of mold for forming the bows. Right, I think the glue on these pieces is just about finished, and for the pipe you're going to want to cut it down to 44 inches. I'm following the tutorial by Backyard Bowyer. I'll link him in the description. He has really awesome videos, you should check him out. And this is going off of his 50-pound survival bow. So this is 44 inches long, and you'll want to mark the center. It's 22 inches. And 2 inches off of each side will give you a 4-inch handle in the center. Alright, so the concept I'm going to be doing, I'm not going to show it on camera since this is a build-along and Backyard Bowyer has everything complete. We're going to use a heat gun, wave this over the heat gun until the whole thing becomes molten past this mark on the handle. And the basic thing you're doing is you'll take this jig and place it on that mark and kneel down on it while it's kind of molten, and it'll taper it down to that end. Note, be very careful with the heat gun. I accidentally touched it to my leg while it was on the floor, and my skin instantly disappeared. And the skin around it now looks like plastic. It also hurts a lot. So yeah, be very careful with hot stuff. Alright, so the flattening jig I couldn't get to work quite right because I guess my heat gun wasn't heating the plastic up enough and it wasn't flattening. So I decided to go with a round recurve bow. Backyard Bowyer also has a tutorial on this one. This is his simple horse bow. And now I'm going to be making a string using the polypropylene twine. 2 pieces of this polypropylene twine that's twisted together. It's a simple twist connection following Backyard Bowyer's instructions. Try to string this up. The string holds pretty well, and it looks like a bow. Looks like a recurve bow. I'm pretty weak because I'm not supposed to lift weights. I have a medical condition that lets me, so I can't lift weights. My contacts are. Because I can't lift weights, and I'm also not supposed to strain my shoulder, I'm not sure if I should do archery. But this works pretty well. It's holding up a good bit of tension. Good amount of force right there. Because I got the PVC pipe for about $1.50, and I got this entire bundle of twine for about $3. Simple recurve bow made from solid 3/4 inch pipe. And after a couple attempts I managed to get this, which is a second 3/4 inch pipe that has a taper on it. So I just finished putting the last curve into this bow. I think it came out pretty well. One problem I did have was you can tell there's a little bit of yellow in the middle of the handle. I don't know if that's quite a burn. It's almost a burn, and I think that's from accidentally touching the heat gun like I did with my leg, which it's actually been about a week since then, and it honestly doesn't seem that much better. Still hurts. Yeah, these are durable. And I'll be able to compare it with the other bow. So hopefully every bow I make from now on will also be tapered. Considering this is the only 2 bows that I've made so far, I don't know how many I'm going to make in the future. But I know my friends want to make some as well, so we'll taper all the bows. I would just like to make a note while making the bowstring, having a table vise, even a really small one, makes it much easier to do this tightly and evenly. So, hopefully I can get this one to work. And if I'm too weak, I might just ask my brother to string it for me. Nope, it actually fits. That's awesome. That looks like a recurve bow. This is the simple PVC bow, and this is the flattened recurve bow. I'll probably be making more bows to compare in the future. I'll also need arrows to do a shooting video. So after about another week of messing around with bows and stuff, my friend has made his own. It's a straight bow, and it works. Take these two pieces. And bam! Hey! One I made before, and this will be the first time stringing it, so let's see if this explodes. Yeah, that's why I'm stepping back. That's what it should look like strung. So, I think it's bent way too much. I'll need to get another bowstring too, if I straighten it again. And then, makes creaky sounds. This isn't bad. It feels like a 20 or 30 pound pull, so it's really, might be good for training or something. And unstring it. Ouch. Takes apart. Sweet. So I took some 4-inch dowel rods, cut them in half to get 24-inch arrows, grind out the knock, sanded it down, just sharpen a simple tip, that'll work for soft targets, hardened it using the heat gun, and now I'm making some simple fletching using 4-inch strips of duct tape that I will place 1 inch away from the end of the arrow. When you put them on, you want the first two to be 120-degree angle from each other, and the third strip goes on to the primary edge, which is perpendicular to the knock. So what I'm doing with this right now is I have the fins cut, and you wrap this in tape. I would use electrical tape, but I only have masking tape. And if you spiral it in a certain direction while slightly overlapping this, it'll give the fins a slight twist. If you do the opposite direction down here, it'll strengthen the knock point as well as spin it in the opposite direction on this side. And what that gives you is a very slight twist that will hopefully spin the arrow and slightly stabilize it in flight. Then you take a piece of beeswax. I found mine at a sewing center. And you rub this on the wood to help polish it. Or not polish it, but to seal the wood. And so now I just need a rag and wipe this down to buff it. And that's my first real arrow. Go. Little kids in the background. So this is the Takedown Recurve Bow, and my first dowel arrow that I've made with a simple sharpened tip and duct tape fletchings. We have a box with styrofoam in it, so I'll see if I can hit this target with no archery practice. Oh, that's effective. Alright, well, so the bow works. Before Sean left, he gave me a little bit of help finishing up these arrows. I did the rest of it, and now I have 8. I gave Sean 2 so that he could use them with his flat bow. My bow is a takedown bow, and I just served the string, which took about 20 minutes by hand. One thing I did notice was that my bow is the completely wrong shape when it's unstrung. So on my future bows, I'll probably make them the correct shape, and hopefully I'll be able to get good results from that.